My name's Percher. My new song Ghost in Chicago are out on Friday the 9th of June, and you can listen to them on Spotify and Apple Music when they drop.
Beautiful, mate. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. So, as you say, man, like you're going against convention somewhat by releasing a dual single on June the 9th called Ghost Chicago. So, but mate, why release both at once?
Just try something new. Like I've always been doing like these singles just by themselves, and then it all leads up to like a bigger release. And I was just thought I'd just try something different for once.
Yeah, cool. So we'll run through both songs individually, starting with Ghost. So tell us a bit more about that track musically and what you were going for with it.
I feel like how I wanted it was just have it as a bit of an introduction track to who I am as an artist and a person, and just express how I feel and like how I feel about what I think people think about me in that sort of sense. And I just made it super heavy with all the fucking guitars and shit.
Oh, so tell us a bit more about the project, mate. Is it just you, or is it a band?
It's just me, but I've got my mates helping me doing some live stuff, and I could not do it without them. Honestly, I'm just so honored and humbled to have them on my side. Just get help, yeah, just making everything loud, which is what I need.
Cool. So tell us a bit more about Percher from a musical point of view, mate. Like, what do you sound like? What's the goal of the band musically?
So just basically modern alternative rock sounds. If you're fans of like let's say Nothing But Thieves or Bad Flower, Royal Blood, Highly Suspect, just anything along those lines in terms of sound. But I honestly I do give it a bit more of my own modern twist to the sound and give it my own sort of flair, which is what I need.
So, but back to Ghost Sound, like you say, it's a lot heavier. Like, is it probably one of the heaviest songs you've done?
Yeah, I would say it's a lot heavier than what I've done so far.
And why go down that road? Like, when you were writing it, did you sit down and say you wanted to write a heavy song, or did it just come out that way?
It just came out that way. Most songs I do, I don't really expect like too much from them at the start, but then like when I put the pen to paper and then I just put all these different ideas together, it just turns out a lot differently than what I expected, which is a good thing in some ways.
And that's the only song out of two that comes with a film clip. So tell us about that.
Yeah, the video definitely helps bring the song to life visually, just how I want people to see who I am and how I feel about myself and how I think about how people feel about me and that.
So when you say the way people feel about it, is it the way that you think people feel about you, or is it coming from criticisms or from people's like direct quotes and stuff?
Just how I think people feel about me personally as who I am.
So
Like
how does this song portray the real you? Like how's it getting that across?
I feel like this song really conveys how I perceive myself as like I've never done it before. So like in the past, I've always written about like all this like random stuff like you usually hear in songs, but then this is like really who I am as like a human being, not always the happy-go-lucky kid I used to be. I'm someone different now, and then it's just not really. I'm not too as proud as I am as what I was before. So with this song, I really try and push that out and just have people see me as who I've become and who I'm going to be for the rest of my life.
Was that more difficult to do than just writing songs normally, like you say?
I think I found my niche with this sort of songwriting. Like in terms of like I'm starting to write about myself more than what I've ever written about anything else, and I feel more better
Yeah,
as a
cool.
songwriter.
So does it mean like every time you write something more about yourself, is it going to take on that heavier persona, or is it going to be light and shade in some parts?
I can alternate here and there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very cool. All right, so let's move on to Chicago. Tell us a bit about that song from a musical point of view to start off with.
Chicago is more of a written along the lines of escapism and just trying to get out of whatever's going on in your life at the moment. So just trying to find a new place to settle down and get away from everything. So going from Ghost to Chicago is a real sort of like flow of like who I am, but then it moves on to like what I could have for myself later on down the track.
Yeah. And is it as heavy?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, you say that was
These songs, yeah, all the songs I'm writing now are a lot more heavier.
Oh, so are they standalone singles, mate, or are they part of a bigger picture?
Uh, I can't reveal too much at the moment. I'll just have to say that we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah, cool. So can you answer then? Like, is this heavier direction something that you're going to continue in the future?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
All
I
right.
will go back and forth like with all the softer stuff as well, but I'm always been a heavy kid. I've always liked the drop tunings and the massive fuzz noises and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm not going to push you much further because you don't sound like you're going to tell me much more. So we'll leave it at that. So these songs follow on from your debut EP, Only Child, which came out earlier this year, mate. And how was the reception for that?
I'm just overwhelmed with the response I've gotten so far with the music that I've dropped, and just I couldn't find myself being here at the moment without the people that listen to my music and support me, my friends, my family, my followers, and just everything that has happened so far. It's been for them and just always will be for them. So
So what sorts of things did you learn from making that debut EP that you'll carry into future recordings?
just maybe to experiment more. Yeah. I definitely found myself experimenting a lot during those recording sessions for the EP last year, but especially with Ghost in Chicago now, I found myself doing a lot more of experimentation with those songs as well, just trying to find new sounds and new ways of performing it. And I guess that's what's really important to me as well as an artist, just trying to help myself grow more and more, just experiment, just do what I can to make the songs bigger and better in a sense. Yeah.
Oh. So what's next for Percher, bro? You got the songs coming out on Friday. What's next for you after that?
I do have a massive Gold Coast show coming up on July 30th at Mo's Desert Clubhouse. My mates, my good friends, Eyesight and Reckless Coast will be joining me that night, and I cannot wait.
Right.
It's going to be massive. It's just some of the best artists around, all in like one of the best venues on the Gold Coast on one night. It's going to be huge.
Eyesight are a good bunch of kids, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
So
we all grew up together. Well, not grew up together. We're all from the same sort of place, like Kingscliff.
okay.
We all went to the same high school, but I think they're about I'd say 4 or 5 years below me.
Alrighty, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And where can people find out more info about that show, bro, and get tickets?
You can go grab your tickets from mosclubhouse.com/what's on, or the link will be posted eventually on my Facebook page.
Yeah, no worries. All right, bro. Well, thanks very much for your time, mate. They're two cracking singles. Like you say, they are heavy as hell. So congratulations, mate. And I'll try and pop down and see the Mo show.
I don't know if I can even think about someone else at the moment. My own, it gives me hell. And when I look back in the mirror, all I get back is some I don't recognize. I didn't get much sleep last night. I know I'm the